Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Chip, chipperoo.
I love it. You know what that reminds me of?
Cyndi Lauper.
No.
Napoleon Dynamite.
No. Do you know me at all? Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh.
I love that movie.
I love that song.
I love both.
I love Cyndi Lauper.
Me too.
Welcome to our Cyndi Lauper podcast. Today we will be dissecting the song Time After Time, and we'll be interpretive dancing to it too. If you want to check out
Romeo
our
and
YouTube
Michelle.
channel, Bob's Credits on YouTube. No, just kidding. We got the podcast on there on YouTube if anyone wants to listen on there.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get too excited over there, Skylar. We've got a podcast to talk about, or we
Okay.
got a show to talk about here.
Yep.
It's about Bob's Burgers and the end credit sequences.
It sure is. It's a good episode.
It is a good episode, and we'll get into that right after we play a little Bob pun or
Max pun.
yes.
All right. Got to redeem myself from last week.
Last week was brutal. It was an absolute beatdown. So let's see if you can get some right this time, huh?
Okay.
The Chicory Dickory Dock Burger.
Bob,
Max.
how do you put chicory in a burger?
I don't know. I don't know.
A
What,
coffee rubbed burger.
oh, there you go.
You don't know what chicory
I don't
is?
know what chicory is.
My grandma loved chicory coffee. Chicory coffee is the coffee you have at Cafe du Monde in New Orleans.
Okay. Then I do like it. Your next pun is the Little Chop of Horseradish Burger.
Bob.
Yes.
Okay, you
There
tried to
go.
trick me. You
There
tried
you
to
go.
trick me.
You've killed the losing streak.
Okay.
Your next pun is your ass is lemongrass burger.
I'm trying to think. Your ass is grass. I feel like that was in something we watched recently.
I say it to Biscuit all the time. No, I don't say that. What do I say? I'm up here, you big horse's ass.
Max.
Yes. Okay, here you go. Here's their big comeback. Your final pun is the baguette out of my dreams, baguette into my car burger.
Bob.
Max.
Damn it.
Baguette out of my dreams.
You have to
It's so
look
hard
at
to-
your phone.
It's hard to
sing that.
Baguette into my car. I should have sung it the first time.
I feel like a child sitting at like a counter. Like I gotta.
Because you slip down
I gotta pull
the
my
couch and you
Oh
fall.
my god. Okay, I'm an adult again.
Should we get a booster seat?
No.
No, she's not.
That's what my driver's ed teacher asked me in front of. Okay, so I went to an all-girls school. So we had a brother school, and I took driver's ed at the brother school. So, you're like 15 and very self-conscious around. I was certainly self-conscious around boys. And my driver's ed teacher said, "Should we get you a booster seat?"
Oh man.
Yeah.
Did your world just crumble?
I said no.
No.
No, thank you,
No.
sir. You terrify me.
Your ass is lemongrass, sir.
Yeah.
Should we get into this episode?
Let's do it.
Skylar, can we?
You sounded like my mom.
Skylar. I'm gonna do the
Tell
whole
me
thing.
you
Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis for season 4, episode 19, please?
The title is The Kids Run Away. When Louise learns she needs to have a cavity filled, she escapes out Dr. Gap's window and hits the road. Determined to get her to return home, Linda strikes up a deal with her. If she can survive the weekend at Aunt Gail's, she doesn't have to get the cavity filled. Tina goes undercover to push Linda's agenda, even going so far as recommending they watch a live performance of Aunt Gail's poetry.
This episode came out on April 27, 2014. It was written by Rich Rinaldi and directed by Boo Won Lim and Kyung Hee Lim.
I think...
How's my accent?
I was just going to say, I think it's horrible.
Oh, rude.
I think everybody thinks Texas accents are the easiest to do, and technically they're really easy to do. But on TV, it is very hard to sound like that you're not a caricature.
Well, I also think Texas is a huge state.
Yeah.
And the accents differ from different areas of Texas.
Yeah, I don't think it's not like you're not like, oh, they have a northern accent or, oh, they have a southern accent. It's not like that like it is in some parts of the world or some states. But I think, and Mayor of Easttown did a really good job. Like generation by generation, the accent gets softer or it changes.
Yeah, you don't have a big accent, but your mom's is pretty heavy.
I mean, I can't hear it, but you say it is. And then like my dad's parents had very heavy accent.
They talk like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just want the record to show that I think it's very, very hard to do a Texas accent convincingly for TV and film.
Got it. McConaughey.
Yeah.
That's a Texas accent.
Yeah.
He's from Texas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's all like UT.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Loves Texas.
That's Matthew McConaughey we're talking about. Just in case
right,
anyone was
right.
wondering. Do we have any fun facts about it? Let's talk about this episode.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it for a second. How do you feel about it? What did you think?
I love this episode. I mean, first of all,
Season 4 is ending pretty strong.
it's really good. Louise out on the run. She like pulls up her little bag from the lake. She's prepared for this day is hysterical. And I do have a question for you. So I skimmed, let's be real. I skimmed 2 reviews, and the AV Club gave this a B+, this episode. And then Paste Magazine gave this like a 9.5. So I just wanted to say, art is subjective. And just because someone scores something low doesn't mean it's not really good, and vice versa.
Keep that in mind for when we score the end credits at the end, everyone.
So one of the reviewers had the point that they think that Bob's Burgers shines when the A story and the B story come together. It's just one plot, essentially. So we have Louise running away, Linda and Bob trying to you do not look like you're listening to me at all.
Sorry, Bisky jumped down on it. I wanted to pet him and I can't reach him.
Okay. So do you think that's true? Do you think it's better when like the A story and B stories kind of like collide?
Not better, but kind of more satisfying. Does that make sense? And that's part of what made Seinfeld so amazing, is that they had all these stories that kind of like ended up coming together in a nice like funny bow on top, you know? But I don't think they necessarily have to come together to be a better episode.
Or maybe not come together isn't the right term, but it's like it's all one story, essentially. I'm just going to keep an eye out for it. I don't feel that way about Christmas in the Car. That was an example of like the family being in on one thing. But something like the episode when Bob teaches at Tina's school, that's great. Like the mom world, the parent world, and the kids world, it's like this one thing. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I guess it's like it feels like less 2 stories to me and more just like 2 parts of a story.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like there's this
That's
part
what
where...
he means.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Do you have some fun facts for us from this episode?
I thought you were going to have like a more firm opinion on if you thought Bob's thrives.
I'm going to have to pay attention to it now.
Yeah, I will too. I don't think that you can say that. I think they do both things brilliantly.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay,
That's why,
but let's pay attention.
Sure.
Okay, so when Louise calls her parents to say she's not coming home, and she says, "Don't bother tracing this call." Do you know what movie that's referencing?
No.
Apparently it's Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
I think it works as like a genre call in general, but apparently that's the movie.
I think that's a reach, internet sleuths.
Well, I think he might say that exact line.
Don't trace this call?
Yeah, so it's a parody of Hannibal Lecter's line when he talks to Clarice at the ending of Silence of the Lambs. We should rewatch that. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it's been a while. Maybe for Halloween.
So I don't really have any other fun facts, just small little, maybe you could call them Easter eggs. I'm not even sure if you could. But Dizzy Dog appears on Jean's toy.
Oh, that's big. Because we were wondering what...
They're like obsessed with Dizzy Dog this season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He appeared, he has a statue at the pier.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
And he was on... He was on the not the brochure, but whatever regular size Rudy was reading on that train episode. And then both Family Fracas and Pam's Court can be seen playing when Louise is watching TV over at Aunt Gail's.
Oh, that's fun.
I feel like we should just dig into the episode a little bit more.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, first of all, we get Gail back. Always love having Gail on. Megan Mullally does her voice. Always kills it. We get Dr. Yap back, who's I've said is not my favorite, but I enjoy him more in this episode than I enjoyed him in...
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this.
The last one, which was my big fat Greek Bob. He was so annoying in that episode.
Almost like he's two different characters.
I agree. He was so weird.
I loved him in this episode, and I knew you probably did too. He's like reluctant. He's like intrigued by Louise and also really annoyed by her. And he's way more of a straight man in this episode, and I think it works so much better.
I agree. He was such a villain in My Big Fat Greek Bob.
So weird.
And it was really, it was like annoying, but like he's so good in this episode. That's Ken Jeong does the voice.
Okay, wait. I just realized that they are going back to Dr. Yap after they learn that he stores his patient's saliva and everything he did in that My Big Fat Greek Bob or whatever that is.
So Bob's Burgers to go back to this dentist who was such a fucking creeper.
But he's normal now. Maybe he like got sober or like this is like the real him. He was going through some things.
Yeah, maybe. We haven't seen him for a while, so maybe he's kind of bettered himself. And he's a nice guy in this because he's willing to, in order to make sure Louise gets her cavity, he joins in like the whole like let's pretend like we're spies, or let's like pretend like she needs to do this to like save the world.
Cute.
Yeah.
And then of course Teddy's there, and it's like, why are you here? But I love that you're here, and I love that you really want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dr. Yap's line when he stands up from the floor after the cavity is filled, and he's like, that wasn't inconvenient at all, or like something like that.
How do you feel about Gale Force Winds, the board game?
Amazing.
It's so funny because Skylar and I are going through an entire rewatch of Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now, from season 1 to season 143. And we were just watching the Chardy McDennis episode where they create their own board game. And it's so similar to like Gale Force Winds, that they just create these board games that are impossible to play and impossible to win. And it's just funny to see two shows doing that at the same time. It
works. It's really funny. I wanted to tell you this last night. I would play that game with you.
Chardy McDennis?
Yeah. I would. I would not play Gale Force Winds with you.
Okay. Would we have to nail in the board because one of us would get so upset that we would flip the board like Mac?
Exactly. Yeah. So I really like this episode. And in one of the other reviews I was reading, I thought he made a point that we often make, which is more of the ushy-gushy feelings about Bob. But he said, because all the kids are at Gale, we get to see these two people, Linda and Bob, as a child-free couple. And they really love each other, you know? And one of the things that is so like healing. I know you guys are rolling your eyes when I say healing, but I think one of the things why this show feels so safe and you can rewatch it, and if you're having a hard day, it just brings you back down to a better place, is that there's just real love between everyone. They're a weird family that has hard things with money and this and that and chaos going on all around them. But they're not a dysfunctional family. There's so much stable love in this family, and that's what I love.
You're absolutely right. I don't think there's, anyone who's rolling their eyes at that.
Yeah.
No one is. If they're watching Bob's and they're Bob's fans, they get that. That's exactly what's wonderful about the show.
Yeah. How do you feel about, Louise being the star of this episode?
Great. I think she's so funny. I think, like you pointed out, the fact that she has a runaway bag that she set up when she was 7 is hilarious.
So Louise.
Yeah.
She can carry an episode effortlessly. And I wonder if that's what they'll do with the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about Gail and her game.
And her poetry and her disgusting apartment and her
anger that she can't have a fourth cat from the pound.
Yeah, and her method to sleep soundly.
Oh,
pretend
that worked for me.
Pretend like the world is ending and there's no men left, so it's okay that she's sleeping alone.
But that's what's brilliant about this episode. Like, it works by itself. Like Aunt Gail doing this ridiculous thing to fall asleep. It works by itself. But then you understand it even more when you finally see her do it. And she's like, it's okay to sleep by myself because there's no men alive. And then it pays off at the end of the episode to get Louise to get the cavity because she's using this technique that she does for sleep as like the hero moment of the episode. So to me, that is like satisfying television writing.
I agree, and it goes into what you just said about the heart too. Mm-hmm. You've got this crazy aunt who drives everyone crazy, and she's very clearly weird and
you don't want her living at home.
Annoying, but she's a great aunt when it really comes to this scenario, you know. And what we'll see the clip right before the end credits here, and Bob and Linda realize they've been out parented by Gail, and everyone's shocked, but you know. Just because she's crazy and annoying and this weirdo, she's still a good aunt. She still has a good heart. She still wants to help.
I love that. And I think the people we're closest to are the people we think the least of. Like, we don't give enough credit to the people we've known for years and years and years. And yeah, like she totally steps up and I love that.
That seems like a good segue into watching this little like end clip and getting into these end credits. What do you think?
Yeah.
So they have just successfully filled Louise's cavity, and they're kind of working their way out. They're still playing the game.
Hey, you were good in there. You too. I'd do a mission with you anytime.
Oh.
I hate to say it, but I think Gail outparented us.
Maybe we should let her watch the kids more often. Oh, maybe Gail can move in with us. Be a full-time nanny.
I'm gonna call your bluff on that. Yes.
No.
Too late, it's done. See you at home, Gail.
Gotcha.
Happy things we should send into space.
Okay. So they're all playing in Dr. Yap's like waiting room. They're still all shooting at each other. There's Teddy and the kids and Gail while Bob and Linda are having this conversation. I love Louise's numb cavity voice.
Me too.
It's so cute.
It is so cute. This is also very reminiscent of the field trip episode where Louise is like, Dad, I love you. That kind of moment.
Yeah. Anytime you get Louise sharing a tender moment, with a family member, it's just the cutest because she's so closed off most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do we see going into the end credits here, Skylar?
All right. We see Gail's apartment in Bob's credits form, which means Gail is in color reading her poetry and her apartment is, lightly sketched in black and white behind her.
With kind of like this music playing over her reciting this poetry.
Yes.
And that's really all we're going to see here. So let's listen to her recite some of the poetry.
Okay.
A jar of mayo. Magazine clippings of Scott Baio. That song that starts with Deo. Little cat, you're just like me. You go outside and squat to pee. Squat! 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 But I'm not done. Squat! The end.
Okay, I figured I'd just let it play because other than the audio, there's not much going on except it's that shot of just Gail reciting her poem and yelling squat really loud a bunch of times.
Yeah.
What she did say was a jar of mayo, magazine clippings of Scott Baio.
Wait, but random things we should send to space? Is that what it is? Yeah.
That song that starts with Deo. And then it's little cat, you're just like me. You go outside and squat to pee. Squat, 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 squat.
Okay, so I do need to get confirmation. She pees outside?
I guess so.
Maybe her toilet doesn't work.
I would not be surprised if it didn't work.
Oh, I have to tell you one of my favorite parts of the episode. Her hate for, I think it's Rebecca upstairs.
Yes.
Because she thinks she's so cute is hysterical.
So funny.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think of these credits?
Little disappointing because so much kind of like happened with that like spy game, and I thought maybe they could continue that in there. And we already heard Scale read this poem.
Yeah.
And seen this exact shot pretty much.
Exactly.
And I also get very annoyed when she keeps saying squat, which I know is the point.
I do too.
But it gets very annoying in the end credits.
I felt a little Howie felt annoyed at Linda and her psychic sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I've said this before, I'm super sensitive to sounds, so sometimes I don't know if it's that, but I felt the exact same way.
I'll be like, we'll be watching TV and I'll like be scratching my elbow and Skylar will be like, can you please stop that? I'm like, did you hear that?
When you were like rolling fuzz in your fingers and I was like, you have to stop that. Okay, here's maybe my theory. I feel like a year ago when it was our first time watching this, I was probably so enchanted and thrilled that we got to, because Aunt Gail is such a novel character and she's like the best, let's be honest. I think I was so thrilled and tickled that we got to hear it again. But now that we've seen the episode a handful of times, there's nothing, I wanted to hear her read a different poem.
Yeah.
At least.
I sometimes wonder what is this deciding factor for these end credits. And I hope someday we get cast or crew member on here to talk with us a little bit and answer some of these questions. Like, do they like, if they have the time, if they have kind of like the resources,
and bandwidth,
do they do something a little more elaborate? Or do they find like sometimes they don't have the time, sometimes they can't do this, so they grab something from the episode that they can like just toss some music over, or they, you know.
I would assume, I mean, this is production.
Totally.
Sometimes you have a harder production week.
Sometimes are the end credits written into the script. I don't know. I'm very curious about all that. So, hey, if we've got any cast or crew that are listening at this point, or any insiders who can offer any insight, DM us. We want to have you on the show. Maybe we'll do a little special bonus episode.
Or just DM us the answer, too.
That's true.
I did like that. Okay, so the music is the theme song, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I thought so. But I have like a really bad ear, so you can tell me. But I did like that this felt like a spoken word musical piece now. Like her cadence as she was delivering it matched the music. So that was like a little bit different than the episode. But ultimately, I wanted something fresh and new. And to be honest, that last scene when they're still playing their game and Tina has her, you know, hair dryer thing and Gene has his banana and stuff, like that is so much more satisfying than these end credits.
I agree. Should we score them?
Sure.
Or you still want to talk about them a little bit more?
No, let's score them.
Okay, we score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's
Mm-hmm.
You want to go? You want me to go?
You can go.
I am going to give these credits a 6 H's.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I went between a 5 and 6, but I think I give a 5 to Mazel Tina, the bar, and I guess this one's a little bit better just because it's. You know what? I'm going to give it 5.5 H's.
Yeah, it's a little like comparing apples and oranges. Because I might say that I liked them being in the kitchen after that crazy event.
Yeah.
And the fact that they like invited the bubby over. So what did we give that?
I'm giving it 5 H's. I'm coming down.
Okay, I'm going to come down to you.
It. Yeah.
Technically, this is a scene lifted. There's not much new added except more squawking, which hurts my ears a little bit. And I don't think that you necessarily grab new information upon rewatching. It's not rewatchable.
Yeah, maybe if we heard a new poem, a different one of her other poems, but I don't. Yeah.
I'll meet your 5.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Follow us on social media, Bob's Credits. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Bob's Credits. Lots of fun stuff going up there constantly. Lots of good episodes, bonus episodes. We're having a lot of fun over there.
And just so you know, you get 2 extra episodes a month if you subscribe to our $5 a month level.
Yeah, and if we're feeling a little extra saucy, we might get more than 2 extra episodes a month. But they're fun episodes. Please join us over there. It's a lot of fun. And leave us a review. We've had some lovely reviews popping up lately. We really appreciate it. And anything else, Skylar, you want to say?
Just for the love of God, please don't stay squawky.
Don't stay squawky or squatty either.
Oh, because she's outside peeing.
Yeah, don't squat. Don't stay squatty.
If you have theories on why she squats outside to pee, Aunt Gail, DM us, please.
Man. Aunt Gail squat DMs.
We'll read them on next week's episode.
We'll see y'all next time.